Okay, today we're going to show you a whole bunch of different rare stamps from all kinds of different countries and everything. So it's not just one particular country. This is a variety of countries. So we'll show you some of the beautiful stamps. Look at this one. This is beautiful, perfectly centered. It's a 1D. Look at the picture. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, really. Look at that. What an amazing stamp. Look at all the details in designing this stamp. It's amazing. What an amazing picture. Beautiful. Now I saw this one here. That's kind of cute too. But I saw this one in this paper, and the last one that was done on paper with this particular color just sold for $9.5 million. So it's like, wow. You know, because it was a brownish paper like this. But look at this one. So if you know anything about this, why it's on this paper, if that gives a special time period, let us know. Please leave us a comment. I know I'd appreciate it, and so would others who are viewing this video. They kind of want to know why it was printed on this paper. And the other one printed on this paper was so valuable. Unreal. So, if you know anything about this one, be sure to leave that comment, and I thank you. So let's go ahead and show you what else we have here. A lot of good ones. Here we go with this one right here. 25. Oventilo sac. Not sure how to pronounce that. Really neat. Nice stamp. Beautifully centered. Okay, and then we have a 5. Look at that. How interesting. The story it tells. That's what old history stamps, it's because it's history. It tells a story in order to have become a stamp. Look at this one. It's just a 1D. There's 1 penny underneath. Look at that. I mean, with all the extra little fanciness, instead of just saying, okay, it's 1D, postage stamp. It's got extra design and everything. If you know what country this one comes from, leave it in a comment. That would be nice to know. Look how beautiful that is. Flowers perfect on the left-hand side corner, upper corner. But on the right, that one didn't come out quite so good. But what a beautifully designed one. Okay, then we have a 1D. Honduras. South Africa. Okay, then we have a 10. Asian countries. And we come down to this one. It's a 30. Very interesting one. 1868 to 1968. Signed and all. Very different for a stamp. Okay, then this one here. Look at that. Beautifully designed. Again, if you know the country of this one. It's 8 pies. Okay. It's written on the side. And it's got the moon and the star. Ah, I've seen that before. Yep. Okay, and a 10 KR. Does not tell me what country it's from. The KR is probably a clue for some of you. Okay. Western Zamda. Postage revenue. Okay, this one has 1/2 D. All right. And look at this one, a 1D. This is beautiful. Look at that. All the design around the picture, and the picture being in black and white with the boats. Oh, that's a beautiful stamp to have. Look at that. Very classy. Amazingly put all together like that. So nice. Love it. Okay, then we come down here. That's a 15 MP. India. Okay. 1882 to 1921. And look at this one. Whoa. Just a simple stamp like that. 25 centimos. And then of course the one I brought to you at the very beginning, that is just beautiful. Very heavily designed. That's a work of art right there. Nicely centered and everything. That's a work of art. A 1D. Okay, and then we have this one here, 1 cent of the waters. Trinidad. Okay. And 25 here. Ooh, sun rising over the water and mountains. 25 RF. And here we have a 5. Ah, same officer. He's in a 5 this time. And this one, a 1 cent. Isn't it cute? St. Pierre. That's a really nice one. Don't you just love looking at them and going, wow, look at the expression on the face. Look at all the design around it. Really nice. Okay, and of course that interesting one. Alright, so be sure to sub me, join me as a friend. If you know the history of some of these stamps, or the value, or even the year, I'd appreciate you leaving it in a comment. Share with the rest of us. Bye-bye now. Today we're going to bring you videos, well, not videos, postage stamps, rare ones, from Brazil. This video is really interesting because look at this one. Cents, 10,000, or $10. $10. CTS 10.00, so $10, or $10 of pennies. I don't know. How do they count that? Very interesting. Alright. But this one's a very, very interesting stamp, whichever way it's written, whichever way you want to read it. I think it's supposed to be $10. Not really sure. It looks like it's got a dot right there. But it looks like CTS for cents. $10 cents. 10 cents. Okay, so this one's very interesting. Now let's take you through some other rare postage stamps from Brazil. Starting, let's go right up there. Here we got this one here. I don't know, I don't see a value to this one, do you? Very interesting. Doesn't say how much it is. Okay, I guess you were supposed to know. Back in the old days, but be interesting. If anybody knows what the value of this was, if it was the beginning, maybe it was just one. Not really sure. Alright. Let's take you to the next one. It says CR0-40. Beautiful blue one. The green one, that's 10 cents. Ah, now they're getting into the cents. CTS. Okay, here's another one that has absolutely no price on it. So that was the beginning of time when you knew what it was. That's just to let you know how rare this really is. Nicely centered, a little bit rough. Okay, and here's another one here. Absolutely no price on it. And another one here. No price on it. And this one is a CR, a dollar sign. Is it a 2 or a 7? A 2. Alright. Alright, very nice one. And this one here, C.dollars, $5. Okay. And this one here has no price on it, in green. Stars on the 2 upper corners. And here we have another one, no price on it. The upper corners. Well, that's what it says at the bottom. In writing is a price, which I wouldn't know. Okay, wouldn't know what it was, that's for sure. And this one here, in pink. It's another one, kind of a purple. And this one, 200 RS. Look at that. Interesting stamp. Oh, this one's nicely designed. 100. Must be an anniversary type thing. Look how beautifully it's designed. Look at the sides around the frame and everything. It's beautiful. Very nice. Okay, then this one here, 700. Just kind of in a run or whatever. And the same thing here in a 300. But in brown, the other one was in purple. And we have a CR0-60. Very nice. We have the 1000 RS. 100 RS. And this one here, a little bit different, huh? 200. Look at that picture. Now that's a story. If anybody knows why this one is this way, what the story behind it is, please leave us a comment. I appreciate it, and so would the viewers who are checking this all out. It's always nice to learn a little history behind why some stamps became stamps. So sharing is always nice. Okay, and of course the one I brought to you at the beginning that I found very interesting. Just different on how it's written. Beautiful picture. Nicely framed. Okay, and then we have this one here. Kind of a turquoise kind of look. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more rare and vintage postage stamps from around the world. Bye-bye now. Today we're going to bring you vintage stamps from Surridge. Isn't this cute? Look, a little baby next to the tire. Well, it's not cute, but that was a postage stamp. Always look out for the kids, I guess. Not quite sure why this is a postage stamp, but if you know, be sure to leave it in a comment. We'd be interested to find out why they would even do that. Put a baby, it looks like next to the car tire, out there. Different, that's for sure. So let's show you all that we have here today. Okay, starting with this one here. This is a 10 or. Look at that. It says 1917. Is it? No, that's not what it is. What is it? I don't know. Not really sure. Maybe 1912. But I don't know why the 17's behind it. Not sure. You'll have to decide for yourself what it is. But isn't that beautiful? I mean, look at that beautiful frame kind of around the picture with all the leaves and everything, with the crowns. Very nice. Okay, and here we have a 20 or. And we have a 10 or. See how nicely centered that one is? That's what you look for when you're looking for old and rare postage stamps. Always more valuable if they're centered. Of course, if they're not used, but once in a while, used works. So I'm not sure on this one either. I see a 12 and I see a 19, so. Okay, oh, 1902 for this one. Now that's clearly marked. Okay, this is a 10 or, 1902. Okay, so that indicates that maybe the other ones are in the early 19s too. Okay, there's a 10. He's kind of in purple. Oh, look at this one. What a beauty. Very nice. See, that's what that red one was, you know, all decorated. See the top of the, well, crown chandelier type look? Then at the bottom, also has another one. So there's a 30 or. And of course this 35 that we brought at the beginning that we wonder why a child right next to the tire is viewed on a stamp. If you know the history behind that, please share with the rest of us. Okay, here's a 15. Now see, that's nicely centered. Used, good condition. Look at that. That's a good one. Okay, and then a 10. this one I think is a 25. And I'm not quite sure what the date on that one is. Alright, oops, let's go down to the next one here. Here's a 5, or serge. Look at beautiful design. It's so nice with the leaves and everything. A lot of details in creating that stamp. Here is a 5, and this is a 1910. Look at that. Femme or 5 Premier. Ah, very important one right there. Alright. Very nicely kept, nicely centered, good condition. And this, you know, sometimes the stamps are more valuable with the date on it. So this one lightly, you know, has the date stamped on it. Didn't overtake on the picture so much. So this one is a good one for sure. 1910. Okay, and this one here. Alright, that's a 25. Geese are going south for the winter. There you go. Very nice. Okay, then we have a 15. And here we have another 5. Look at this one. Isn't this one interesting? It's a 15. Wow, look at that. Isn't that something? Interesting to look at for sure. It's a Cine. 15 Cine. Look at the hairdo. Nicely centered. Very nice. Okay, then we have this one. The bugle and the crown. So or 115 or. Wow, look at that. That's beauty. Okay, and then this one here's a 20. National Museum. 150 art. Okay. Very interesting. Okay, well, I think this one might be the most interesting out of them. So be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more rare and vintage postage stamps from around the world. All right now, bye-bye. Okay, today we're going to show you rare and vintage postage stamps from Malaya. Look at this one. Isn't this interesting? Look at this. It's pretty. It's interesting. It's a 1/2 D. Look at that. What a beautiful postage stamp. Very nice. Beautiful artwork, huh? Artwork in a postage stamp. All about history. So let me take you to the rest of them that we have. Here we have this one here. In the corner it says, let's see, it's a star. 1/2 D, but it almost looks like, oh, it's 1.5 D. There you go. All right. What an interesting picture. There you go. Sometimes when they stamp it at the post office, it throws what you're trying to read right off. All right. Here we have, look at this one. Oh, that's kind of like the first one I showed you, only this one's in brown. And it's a 1/4 D. Look at that. Well, zoom in too much, you lose it. Wanted to get to really see the facial expression on there, but that's not going to quite happen. All right. And the next one here is a 1D. If you notice, it kind of stayed with the simple colors. Then we have a 1/2 D. It says free government on it. What's that, 1845? Oops, zoomed in too much. Look at that. Isn't that something? Still learning my camera here. Nope, 1947. All right, 1947. Okay, then we go down to the 1D right here. Postage due. Then we have a 1 1/2 D. Of course, the one I showed you at the very beginning that I found so beautiful is a 1/2 D. Then, oh, then they went into the 10 cents. Then we have the 1 cents. Then we have a 1/2 penny. A 1/2 D. A 4 cent. Look at that. Tiger. Very nice postage stamp. Animal lovers will love this one. Okay, at 2 cents. That's to give you a little bit of view of what some of the structures of the land look like. Of course, it's way back then, but still, nice view. Okay, and a 1/4 D. So you notice that the smaller value ones are in brown and green. Okay, and a 1/4 D. And a 5 cent. Okay, so of course to me this is interesting, but the most interesting one, let's see, where is it? Where are you? Right there. There you go. Okay, I hope you enjoy my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and pass some of these videos of old and rare postage stamp along to others who enjoy just looking at, it's like looking at old pictures really in a way, but it's also looking at art, looking at history. Sometimes if someone sees something that catches their eyes, they'll look it up to find out the story behind it. And if you're one of those, go ahead, share it with us in a comment. All right, bye-bye now. Okay, look at this. It's like an Egyptian postage stamp. This looks pretty rare to me. I don't know, but you can guess for yourself. These stamps that I'm going to show you are some that they printed either on what used to be like during wartime, the paper, the sandwich wax paper bags we used to have in the old days, kind of on that, or they're just stamps that they had to, at the very beginning, cut before they started putting the perforations on stamps and everything. So these are all just paper ones, and I'll take you through them. They're not like regular stamps. These are just printed on, or they're just where they needed to cut them as people wanted them. Okay, so this one I think is a very rare one. Looks rare to me, because I've never seen one like this. That'd be way back in the time, huh? Alright, let me show you what we have. Oops. First we have this one here. Okay, then we have this one. It's just paper. And what's funny with this, okay, now there's two of them. See how this one's already been totally cut. Okay, the way it's supposed to. And this is how it came on the sheets. You know, where you can see it's like that. It almost makes it look like it's a stamp. But at the post office, they're supposed to cut it. Because if you notice, it's just paper. And it's actually even written on, like people wrote in a letter on a thin postcard, that's for sure, because it's just paper. But it's no stamp at all. It's just stamped on the paper. Look at that. You can even see the writing right through it. Isn't that interesting? You can actually see the writing that's on the back right through the stamp. That's how thin it was. And it was just a stamp of a stamp, not a real postage stamp. But I mean, it is a real postage stamp, but it wasn't just stamped on. So that was to show you what it's like before they cut it, and then this is when they cut it. Because they have the white frame around it, which would lead you to think it's a regular stamp, you know, as we would know it today. Alright, now these here are from the wartime. They were with that wax paper, you know. You can feel it, it crinkles like it. Here's a 35. Here's a 15. Another 35. Look at that, perfectly centered and everything. But it's all just that material, that paper. Here's a 2.5. Here's a 5. A 70. A 25. 2.50. Okay, now we get into the regular ones. You can see the green line on the top. That's where at the post office they're supposed to cut with the scissors on the line. That's how it used to be. This is a Victoria. Looks like 5 shillings. Victoria, 5 shillings. Now look at this one. Isn't this a neat one? It's a 1. 1C, or is it a 10? I'll have to look in the magnifying glass to see. Let's see. Pence, 35. Oh, it's a 10. There we go. 10 pen. Look at that. Look at the material it's kind of made. It's like that, I mean the paper it's made. It's like those shirts that you don't have to iron. Look at that. Look at the picture on there. Oops, you get too close, it gets blurry. Alright, come back to us. There you go. What a beautiful stamp, isn't it? All right. Very nice stamp. Okay. And we have this one here, which is a half. And we have a whole, a 1. Yeah, 1 penny. Huh. Usually the 1 penny is a picture of a lady. There's a man on this one. Very different. Okay, and then a 2 cents. See how they had to cut around it to use it? Okay, and this is a stamp of a stamp. Or they needed to cut around it, one or the other. It's a 1 penny. It's not a real stamp, it's just stamped on. And we have this one, look at this. 1883 to 1884. That's how old this stamp is. So during that 1 year, they just stamped it on paper, on your envelopes or whatever you was mailing. 1883 to 1884. That ought to be valuable to someone. If you know anything more about this one, please leave a comment. I'd appreciate it. So would all the rest of the viewers. It's definitely an old one. I don't know what that center is supposed to represent. So if you know, leave us a comment. Alright, and then this is the one I showed you at the very beginning that I found was interesting. It's a 1. Okay, now look at this one. Isn't that something? Look at the design of that. Very interesting. Again, this is just a stamp on a stamp. A stamped out postage stamp. I guess that's the way to say it. Okay, here's another one. 1883 to 1884. This is a Peru. Stamped on, it's a 1S, which I believe is supposed to represent 1 cent. But look at that. 1883 to 1884. From Peru. Aren't these interesting? Some old ones. Unreal. Okay, and then here we have another 6 here. Then we have some more that were just stamped on. ADC from Netherlands. 6 pence postage. This is just stamped on. And this one here, a 50 cent stamped on. Then a 6D. And another 6. Okay, so the interesting one to me, this one here, of course the other ones with the 1883 and 84 was very special too. But this one kind of gets the best. Alright, if you know anything about some of these, know the value of them, or know someone who would know the value of them, please share the video with them. It would be appreciated. Alright, stay tuned as we bring you some more rare and vintage postage stamps from around the world. Today we're going to show you some old vintage postage stamps from Japan. Let me take you through them. I like this one. This one's nice. But let me take you through them all. Here we go. This one here. 50. This one's beautiful because this is of the land. A very nice one. Okay, then we have this one here. A 9. And we have a 10. And this one here is really different. Well, the E's are the other way. I think this has to go this way. There we go. Much better, huh? This almost looks like the lucky one. Like a horseshoe. Very nice. And this one here. Really got stamped at the post office. Now that looks like it should be this way too. I'll turn some of these around. There we go. Some are hard to see which way they're supposed to go. Oh, look at this. Very nice. I've seen that in a lot of pictures. Okay, here's the $1. Here's a 2. Here we have a 30 off delivering mail. Then we have a 1. Okay, and here's a 10. And we have a 4. And a 10 with all the leaves and flowers. And it looks like a couple of birds in there too. This is one of those pictures you put up and you go, okay, what else can you see? What can you see in this picture? Because actually the 2 birds almost look like some more of the leaves and everything. But there's 2 birds in there. Okay. And this one here. Here we have a 5. Even the post office stamp is in Japan writing. Look at that. Isn't that nice to see? Very different. Okay, we have a 5 here. Oops, that one's upside down too. Let's put you the right way. There you go. Very nice. Okay, so I think this one here is the most interesting of them. So be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more stamps. I do have some more from Japan. Alright, bye-bye now. Today we're going to show you stamps that were stamped, not regular postage stamps, but those that they just pressed on the paper for your envelopes and stuff, or on your postcards. So let's get going and show you what we have. First one right here. There's a 2-cent one. Okay, this is September 30th from Augusta, Maine. A 2-cent. It says 99. Willing to bet that's not 19.99. It's a 2-cent one. Kind of nice to feel because it's pressed outward. Okay, then we have the 1 cent. And here another one of those 2-cent ones. All on different papers, you know, because it's whatever they stamped it on. And look at this one. America 77. Wow, this one's really different. Very different to see. Okay, and 3 for the Red Cross. It's the War Fund. That one too also comes right up off the paper. Then 1901. See all the the stars on that flag? That's a 1901. Look at that, 2-cent. Nice one, isn't it? Okay, then we have a 4-cent one. We have a 3-cent one. Another 2-cent one. And we go down here. It's a half-penny. So this is a stamp of a postage stamp. That's what these are. These are 1 cent, 1944. $0.06, the Liberty, and it sticks right out. 13, Liberty Tree, and 8. Ooh, 4 cents, 1860 to 1960, the Pony Express. There's a 5 cents. The eagle with its mouth wide open. This one was just a flag one. I don't know nothing about that one, so if you do, please leave a comment. That just happened to be in the collection. I know nothing about this one, so if you know anything, I'd be interested in hearing all about it. It's always nice to learn something. Okay, then this one here, postage, 1 cent. Alrighty. Oh, and then we have this one, by airmail, 1953, Coronation. Okay, then we have this one here, a 1 cent paid. We had a few of these other ones that were just paper, 1983. And this one here, probably the same. Let's get back to the good ones here. Here's a 1940, 3 cent. 1945, 1 cent. Oh, 15 cents. Happy 4th of July hat, huh? 1980. A 1 7/10 cent. How do you get 7/10 of a cent? Non-profit, so I guess they knock off 3/10 of a cent. It's a U.S. postage. Yeah, and the bell sticks right out. It's embedded into probably a postcard. 1 7/10. Unreal. And we have the bell. 1926, 2 cent bell. A 1 penny. 1 1/2, which is 3 halfpence. This one here, you can't really see. It says 1 penny. I can't make out anything about it. Just totally different. Okay, and then this one. And we come down to this one here, 2 1/2. Half pennies, 2 pence and a half penny. Okay, 2 1/2. And this one here, a 2 cent postcard, postal card, so that comes from a postcard where they're just stamped from Franklin. This is 4 1/2. 4 1/2 postage. 3 halfpence. That don't make sense. It doesn't add up right. Alright, so if you want to inform me about this, how can it say that? Postage, 3 halfpence. But yet at the bottom it says 4 1/2. Isn't that different? That's very different. Curiosity is why. Why does it say 4 1/2 if it says 3 halfpence? Okay, here's a 2D. Ah, this one might be just one that they had to cut with scissors. But it does feel just like cardboard though. So it's one that was stamped on. There's 3 halfpence. Here we have a 4 cent, a nice ship. Here we have a 2. Oh, look at this one. Different language. Very different. 5. Look at that. And I don't know what that means on the side. Alright, so on a whole card like this. Okay. And of course the Pony Express again. Here we have a 3. Look at that, kind of all laced up around. It's an 8-sided stamp. Wow, really pretty with the lace like that and then the number just inside. Very nice one. Okay, then we have the 3 cent. And we have a 10. This is just like on cardboard. A 7 cent. And blue envelope. Look at this one. Isn't this one interesting? Very, very different. Here's another one. I find them very different. This one says 2. Yeah, they both say 2. All right. And we have a 5. Look how different that is. Almost not really a checkerboard background, but different, that's for sure. Oops, this one's got it upside down. Turn them the right way. There we go. A 35. And then a 2.5. Okay, so the most interesting ones are these two right here. 1 7/10. And then of course that one. Very pretty. Alright, hope you've enjoyed my bringing this to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more. Bye-bye. Look at this interesting stamp. I really like this one. Today we're bringing you stamps from España. So let's get to it. This is just a beautiful one. I love this one. Okay, so let me show you what else we have. Okay, we have this one here. Very young boy, 15. Have this one kind of in a pinkish burgundy kind of look. This one's a 5. España. Here we have a 10. We have this one here. PTD. Doesn't really say the value. At least not in plain English for me. Okay, and here we have 15. You know the story of some of these stamps and who they are and why they were put on a stamp, be sure to comment that. Send it to us with a comment. Look at this one. This one's a 5. Plain, simple, but very pretty. Okay, this one here is a 10. They all played a part in history. That's what these stamps are, is really part of history. Also a work of art, too. Here is a 5. CS. Very nice. See how all that design around kind of like the frame of the picture? Very nice. Okay, and of course the one that I really like at the beginning. If you know the story behind this one, there has to be because there's a flag in it. Leave it in a comment. It's always nice to share. Okay, and we have this one. It's 50. MILS. Okay, and then we have one PTA. Look at that. Isn't that a beauty? Okay, then we come down here to 30. of a building. And here another 30. And another 30 here. You can pretty well tell the age only by the hairdo, huh? Take you back to the 30s and 40s. Okay, and here we have a 15. And this one here, this is very interesting. I think it's supposed to be 30th of October. It's a .10 den. But boy, look at the picture in that. Very, very different. All the stamping on it is very different too. Alright. And all the writing and stuff that's on the stamp. So if you know a little history on this one, be sure to share it with us. Okay, and here we have another 30. Very nice stamp. Then we have 4 of these. Whoops, I got him upside down. Gotta pay attention to that, huh? Here we have a 10 in brown. We have a 15, kind of reddish. We have a 10 in blue. And we have a 1 in purple. So you know what this symbol represents and everything. Be sure to share it with us. We'd appreciate that. I'm sure the rest of the viewers who are viewing this video would also appreciate that. And I'll leave you with this one, which I find was the most interesting. Kind of want to know the story. It's all the whys. When you see things, you want to know why. Why was this a stamp? What does this represent? Alright, be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more vintage stamps from around the world. Bye-bye now. Today we're going to bring you vintage postage stamps from India. Look at this beautiful plane. It's being repaired. They're all working on it. It's like the beginning of the planes, huh? Alright, let me show you what else we have here from India. Let's start right up here with this one. Look at this. 1 1/4. I don't know what they do with the other 3/4. And here you are, 1 1/4. Beautiful purple with a black and white picture. Then we have a 15. This is from 1959. It's stamped 1959 from the post office, but it's also written on the side 1919 to 1959. It's the 40th anniversary of labor organization. Okay, then we have this one here. It's a 1A. Silver Jubilee commemoration. The 6th of May of 1935. Okay, then we have this one here, a 2. Very nicely done in blue. Then we have a lot of these 1-penny ones from India. All of the same girl. Here's one in brown. Here's one in, I guess we'll call it red. It's not really pink, it's not the deepest of red. So, kind of in between. And then another brown one that says service. Then it's got some writing in red. So I just thought, even though it was still brown like the other one, it's a different shade of brown, and the extra writing might mean something to someone. Okay, and here we have another Silver Jubilee, 1/2 A. Different structure in there. Then we go down to this one, it's 4. Look at that building, isn't that big? Imagine being the person standing at the very bottom, how large that picture really is. I mean, how large it is in person to see. Look at the architect of that. Very architectural building. Very nice. You know, just to give, it gives you an idea of what it's like over there. So if you're looking to travel and stuff, looking at old stamps will give you a little bit of history. You can see them, look it up, see what it's all about. It's always nice to check things out before you travel. There you go. Okay, here's a 6. Working in the mills. Here we have a 1A. Here we have all the little famous animal here in the woods. What do we got? An elephant. Look at him. He's on the 3. It's kind of on a brown stamp. Isn't he pretty with all the flowers and everything? This one's on a brown. Okay, then we have a 1A. 1 Anna. Then here, that'll give you an idea a little bit more of the scenery up there in India. There's a 2RS postage stamp. Okay, then we go right here. They're picking. This is 0.15. Just young children picking the fields. Part of the culture. Okay, and here we have a 9. Very different. See how well centered it is. That's something you look for when you're looking to buy vintage postage stamps. Most of them prefer unused, but every now and then to have one that's used that has the date, the year printed on it, makes it more valuable. So it depends what kind of stamping it had. You know, you don't want it to take away from the view of the picture on the stamp, but you kind of want the date of when it was stamped too. Helps you out a lot. Okay, and of course that famous plane that I liked at the very beginning. That's my favorite in this video. Look at that. I've gone to the Arrowhead Museum and seen a lot of them. You know, like the Jenny plane and the beginning of airplanes. So it's kind of neat to see. Of course, a lot of them I would never get into. Just don't look safe at all. But this would be a little bit more advanced than what you see at the Arrowhead Museum. Okay, then we have a 3. It's in black and white. Alright, so out of them all, this is my favorite. If you know any history of some of these as to why they became postage stamps to begin with, the story behind it, be sure to share. Be sure to join me as a friend, and we'll be bringing you some more vintage postage stamps, the nice rare ones from around the world. Bye-bye. Okay, today we're doing videos on Helvetii. I can't really pronounce it. Maybe you can pronounce it better than I can. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful one? Really, this one very, very stern looking picture. Very nice. Bunch of crosses on it. So let me take you through all of them. First, we have a variety of these guys here. We have the 5 in kind of a purple. Have a 5 in green. We have a 5 in, still looks purple. The first one I think was more bluish. And 5 in orange. Another 5 in green. Then we have this one. 1FR. And we have a few of those too, all in different colors, different shades. There's a burgundy, a brown, and a green. And we come down to this one here, a 20. Look at this one. It says 1948. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, and then this one that I brought to you at the very beginning, which I find very interesting. Love how he's dressed and everything. Very nice. Okay, and then this one here, a 90. Different. This one I found was very interesting, a 50. A little stiff posing, but very interesting picture. Okay, and then this one here. A 60. Take Control, I think. I don't know, very interesting. I'd be interested to find out the story behind this. So if you know anything about this, please leave a comment. Share with the rest of us, because I'd appreciate it. I'm sure my viewers would too. Oh, look at this one. Very nice. Okay, then we take you down to this one here. A 12. We have the same picture in red. First one was brown. This one's a 10. And we have this one, a 25. And this fella, 120. And we have a 150. And we have a 15. Look at that. Very nice. Little house living off the edge. Okay, then we have an 80. Look at the way he's dressed. All the armor. Okay, then we have some of these here. We have it in 5. See how nicely scented this stamp is? Unused, good condition. That's what you look for when you're collecting old vintage stamps. Try to get them all this way. You know, when you're putting them in an album. Okay, and then here we have a 12. And we have a 5C. This one's really interesting because it's black and white, but the center is pink. Very interesting one. I believe that tells the age of this one. Okay, then we have a 10 here. Exposition. And we we have these here. I have a bunch of these, different numbers on them and stuff. So if you know of any that are more valuable than the others, some that are really rare that people are looking to find, please go ahead and leave it in a comment so I can check to see if I have it for you. That's a P2P. Very beautiful. Okay, and then here we have a 25. And a 10. Okay. So be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more vintage postage stamps from around the world. Be sure to share this with others who are also stamp collectors. Enjoy just looking at the art of the stamp, which is history. All right, bye-bye now. Today we're bringing you old vintage postage stamps from Uruguay. May not be pronouncing that right, sorry if I'm not. But there are a few rather interesting stamps. I find this one a little interesting. Of course, the train is very interesting. Look at that, isn't that cute? But I think the one that's the prettiest will be this one here. If you notice, the post office would, well, it's written official on it, but it was stamped with almost like diamonds or squares, whatever you want to call it. But that's how they were stamped. Isn't that a beautiful one? That is really nice. I like that one. So there are a few rather interesting ones. This, of course, is the prettiest and things people will like. But let me take you through all of them and show you what we have here. Okay, here we have a 5-1. And we have a number 2. We have a 3. All different officials that are on the postage stamp. Here we have a 3, another 3. If you notice, this one's perfectly centered. That's something you look for when you're collecting old, rare, vintage stamps. Of course, you prefer them to not be used, in good condition. The older the better, huh? More value. Alright, here we have a 1. Here we have another one in purple. And this one here is a little bigger stamp. This is a 4. This is the same fella as a 5. The Republic Oriental, Uruguay. Okay, and here's the one rootin' tootin' cowboy on a horse. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful color. So for those of you who are collecting horses, this is a good one. Horse stamp videos. And we have a 5. Very elegant looking. And we have this one here to show you a little bit of the land, a view of the land. It's a 1, which is really nice to see. And this one here of a bird, a 5. That's probably their country's bird. And of course the one I really like is this one here. It's just beautiful. She seems like such a nice young lady. If you know the reason, you know, that she ended up on a postage stamp, the story, be sure to leave it in a comment. Almost looks like it might have something to do with motherhood. Becoming a mother or something. So she must have done something very important in order to be on a stamp. So if you know what that is, please share with us. It's always good for the rest of us to learn a little bit of history as to why it's on the stamp, and to learn about the country too. All right. And here we have a 5. Here we have a 2, showing us some of the buildings, which is really nice. Looks like it's a university. Here we have another one. This is a 7. And this one, look at this. Got the old wagons. Look at that. Like a Western movie, you know? The old covered wagons with the canvas on top. You have your cows and everything, and an airplane flying up in the sky above you. What a beautiful stamp. There's a lot to view in this stamp. You know, look at all the details. So it's an art in the first place, along with being history. Juan Riso. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, even doing the clouds like that back then. You know, you have to look at the time period and everything, and then see what you have, and just figure how much work went into the detail of this one stamp. Of course, mass-produced, but still, there's a lot of details in this. Wasn't take a picture and put it on. It was, back then, all done by hand. All right, and of course, one that we showed you at the beginning that I thought was interesting. And of course, the train, which is really cool. Bringing you coal, most likely. I remember when we were kids and stuff, we heated downstairs this great big furnace, and it was with coal at first, till it went to wood. All right, there's the number 7. And a number 5. Okay, so your most interesting one out of this video is this one right here. Very nice one. So be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more rare vintage postage stamps. Bye-bye now.